Star Wars Geek Girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Geek Girl. As I'm Zoe, as usual, I'm here with Lizzy.
Hello.
And we're here to talk about some more Star Wars visions.
Yippee.
So last week, you can check out our episode. We talked about our general thoughts on this volume and kind of visions a whole little bit. We talked about the first 4 episodes of this new volume. Today we're talking about the last 5 episodes of the volume. So that is Yuko's Treasure and the Lost Ones from Kingdom of Citrus, The Smuggler from Trigger, The Bird of Paradise from Polygon Pictures, and Black from David Productions.
David Production. I'm so excited.
David.
Yeah. What are we did spoiler-free thoughts for like the entire
Yeah, we talked about the entire volume last week. So we can just kind of jump into
some
of these last 5. Which one was your favorite?
I think Bird's Paradise.
Yeah.
It was just really good. It also reminded me of Silent Hill a lot. Like, it mostly reminded me of Silent Hill F the most, but also it just had Silent Hill vibes. Because I podcasted with my dad yesterday, and I was like, and we were talking about, or we were gonna talk about Birds of Paradise, and I was like, we were both like, yeah, it reminded me of Silent Hill. Yeah. But I think that one I like the most. What about you?
Yeah, I think of the last 5, it's still Yuko's Treasure and the Lost Ones.
So cute.
But Yuko's Treasure, which is the first one we'll talk about.
Lost Ones was really good.
Yeah, so Yuko's Treasure.
Yay, Kinema Citrus. They did Made in Abyss. They did a lot of animes, but I didn't recognize a lot of them. I know Made in Abyss is really popular, and then My Happy Marriage. I know my mom has watched a live action version of My Happy Marriage, so I don't know, but I don't know if that has any relation to the anime. I'm not entirely sure, but they did My Happy Marriage, which is also very popular right now. But yeah. I like the kid. He reminds me of little what's his name? Oh my god, Chrono from Chrono Trigger. You don't know who that is, but they have the same hair. His is just red, but it's so cute. He's so tiny, and then Yuko is so tiny, and they're all so tiny. And then Billy is so ginormous and so cute. He was giving like Totoro. It was just so adorable. And he has a little microwave oven thing in his belly. That's amazing.
I love Billy. I'm a Billy stan for life.
Mm-hmm.
I want the Billy marketable plushies.
Yes.
Please.
So
pretty please. He's so cute. Yes. So Yuko's Treasure. So we kind of open it with, it's like Yuko's parents and then Billy and Yuko, and it's like they're in a ship. Things do not seem to be going well in that ship. We don't really see everything that happens. But then we get to Billy and Yuko, who live in a little like mini moisture farm thing in Tatooine. It's Yuko's birthday, so Billy's taking care of him and like getting food and stuff ready. Billy just has to go into town to sell water.
Yes.
Because it's Tatooine, and that's what people do.
Yes, he must make money.
Yeah, big money in the water industry on Tatooine.
Yeah.
Yeah, while Billy is in town, Yuko also decides to go into town. She's not supposed to do. And we have this other kid.
Oh, I forgot his name. But he's like definitely part of this pirate crew that he kind of like joined a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem he's like part of it,
He's
but he's
not.
just like
Yeah,
he's like
like did a
he's
job.
like an Ezra. He's like an Ezra on the streets, and this kid, they're like, "Hey, kid, we're gonna hire you." Sola, that's his name.
Yeah. But he like is going around like, have you seen my parents? They're not his parents. Um, and Billy is like, I don't know. I gotta go.
Yeah,
Um,
very covert, Billy.
yes. But then he goes, and he follows them home because he recognizes the robot, that they have.
Their little candy corn robot, which is very cute. And Stars.com posted a craft you can do to make one.
Oh, cute. Uh, so they do that. He reports back to the pirates, and the pirates are like, "Okay, sick. We'll kill him." And he's like, "Wait, what do you mean kill him?" And then they go, and they're trying to find a treasure that the parents stole allegedly. Um, and then they take Billy, and Yuko's sad. They take Billy, and Billy leads them to like this mining area, and down below there's like a like a thing that's locked, like a door that's locked. So they're gonna go capture Yuko. But Yuko's already down there because it's a child, and children are always just gonna be in places that they probably shouldn't be. But it's okay. It's okay this time. And they're down there, and there's this giant like dinosaur thing that is so cute. I was waiting for it to be like a friendly thing because it's like moving, but whenever they turn around, it like stops, and it's like it was super silly. I loved it.
Yeah, big lizard guy, very cute.
And they get chased, and then it like falls to its supposed death. And they can't really open the door, and then Yuko opens it for them. And there's a spire like coin in there. There's a singular one, which I thought was cool. So they don't find the treasure, and then they're all running away. And Billy's evil. Billy
Darth
is like
Billy.
Darth Billy. He was scary, and he's like trying to kill the kids. Yeah, and I put a little picture of Darth Billy because I thought it was so cute. It looks really silly.
Yeah, it's just like he just has like a cape and a little like I couldn't
almost Darth Vader.
At first I thought it was just like a cloak over his ears, but then when it falls off, it still has the ear shape. So I think he just had like an ear helmet.
Yeah. Which is so cute, and they knock it off, thankfully. And Billy's normal. They're all running away from the giant lizard. And then the pirates leave, and they're like, "Man, we didn't find any treasure." And Billy's like, "Well, they didn't go downstairs." And so they go in, and there's like a downstairs area, and it's like their old home. It's so cute, and there's like little like hologram flashbacks, and that was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, I really liked. I just loved everything about this short. Like, I really liked the animation style, and I really enjoyed. The little pirate gang was like also very like just fun little like character designs. Like there's like a kind of like wolfy pirate guy, and then there's like this Twi'lek, she was very silly. I liked her. I thought she was fun.
Like a big nosed dinosaur guy.
Yeah. Yeah, little dinosaur guy. Like he was just very cute. And like it was very like it reminded me in some ways of almost like a mix of like Skeleton Crew, but then also like Luke's story of like discovering like, oh, your father was a great pilot, here's his lightsaber, ignore everything that happens after that. But like that kind of like vibe of it. It was really fun, and I really enjoyed like Yuko and Billy just like inviting Sola into their family. It was just really so cute. I could watch a whole movie.
Yeah, I teared up a little when Billy like is cleaning up their gravestones, and he's like, "Yeah, your parents like took food and medicine to planets in need and blah 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 blah, and then they got sick and passed, and I was like, oh, okay, sad. And then he has a ship. He gives he gives the Yuko child a ship to pilot for his birthday. Technically, kind of. But yeah, I like that episode a lot. It was very good. Um, so we have episode 6, The Lost Ones, which is also by Kinema Citrus. So same company, but this one was also really good. I liked this the master.
Yeah.
He like, which was so funny because we saw it and I was like, oh, so pretty, like that. Like the master, the girl is so cool. And then he started speaking, and I was like, that's dude. Whoops.
I did
I was
the
like,
same thing.
wait a
I
minute.
did the same thing.
But he's still so beautiful.
Yeah, oh, I love this one. So this one was the sequel to my absolute favorite short from Volume 1, which was The Village Bride. It's about F, my cookie girl F. And so like what we start the episode with is, which this was really cool too, just like as a concept, where it's like a planet where they were like carbonite mining, and it went bad, and now the carbonite is like
yeah, that was
leaking
odd.
and gas from like freezing things in carbonite, like entire towns and people. It was just really cool as a concept, and I love the way it was animated. Like the way the gas looked was really cool. And so it's like these refugees from this town, and F is like rescuing them and like helping them kind of escape and try to find a new like safe place to go from this like, and it's it's very in the way that like Andor is like very prescient to like real life, where it's like in this case it was the Empire, I think they said, or like a company like doing all this carbonite mining, then it goes bad, this company or the Empire leaves, and then the people have to deal with it, and they become refugees and then become criminalized for being refugees, like very prescient. But yeah, so we have like F is helping them, and like everyone's really fascinated by her, and of course you have like people who are like, some of the kids are like, whoa, you're a Jedi, that's so cool, and some of the kids are like, well, I heard the Jedi were the bad guys that betrayed everyone, and F is like, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Like she's just like, she's not gonna like push them back at all, but she's like, well, I'm nice, and I like that, very Jedi of her to handle it that way. And they end up like a Star Destroyer pulls up, and they're like, we know you got a Jedi, we want to take her, if you don't let us take her, we're gonna blow everyone up. So obviously F is like, okay, well, guess I gotta go over there. So she lets herself be captured, and then one of the refugees actually is like, so grateful for her and inspired by her. He's like, well, I'm going with you so I can help, which was nice. And they get to the ship. He's like messing around the Star Destroyer, like sabotaging it and stuff. She goes and she's brought to her former master, who is now become like a Inquisitor, Imperial officer kind of deal.
Yeah.
And they're like in this room, and it's like these like
There's so
red
many
petals and flowers everywhere, and it's like the room is like, instead of the window, it's like a hologram of like they're in a field and they fight, and it's such a good looking fight.
I like the style a lot. Like I always like this style the most, just because I don't know, it's so pretty and so clean, and like anyone who has differently colored hair, like their outline is like the kid with the blonde hair, like his outline is green but he has blonde hair. Her outline, she has black hair technically, but her outline is like blue. That was really cool. I like the design of the master a lot, and it was, as much as I was like, that's a girl. Nope, no. But I don't know, it just looks so cool, like just with the white hair and the red eyes. It was super, super cool. And that he still has like eyelashes and stuff.
Mhm.
He just looks really cool. Um, and they fight, and it's really really cool.
He
But
did
then,
remind me of like a dark Qui-Gon in a sense. Like I feel like if Qui-Gon went to the dark side, he would be this guy,
yeah, that's
you
fair.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Which was really interesting.
Yeah,
I
that's pretty
can't
cool.
explain it. It was really vibes based.
Yeah, well,
I think he
maybe like
sounded a little
the
bit like
voice.
Qui-Gon.
The
The voice
voice
was a
was
little bit
definitely
Liam
very
Neeson.
deep. You know.
And it was also, I don't know, it was just like interesting because it's like the things he was saying were like I can kind of imagine like maybe not like the Qui-Gon we know, but like a Qui-Gon who followed Dooku saying that, which was really
Mhm.
interesting to me.
Yeah, that's true. But then she like beats him by she like jumps over him, stabs him with the carbonite like
Yeah, she's like a car.
thing.
So yeah, when they were like mining, when they were like going through the town, the refugees in the beginning, they're like trying to do stuff like I guess like get money to pay for living and being refugees, and so
Mhm.
they're collecting like some of the carbonite that's safe into like these little vials. Presumably, I assume to sell. I don't know what else they would do with it.
Well, they said they were
Um,
researching it to reverse it.
Yes, that also. And so she has like one of those vials, but she uses like a little like carbonite smoke grenade to like
Yeah, and
freeze him.
stabs him with it. But he like cuts all of her limbs off that,
Except for one
is
arm.
robotic.
Yeah.
Thankfully. And he's like, oh, she says like, I know I can never defeat you in a duel, but I can outstop you. um, and then he turns into stone, and that's really cool. It's pretty cute.
Yeah,
I
he
like
gets
it.
frozen. She's like a little bit. She also has like if you look on her one like arm, like it looks like a bit of carbonate like on her too,
Mm,
which probably helps with it being cut off. My
yes.
poor girl. But I mean,
She's
it's good.
limbless.
Yeah, because that one refugee that came with her, he like basically sabotaged. Hold on, I'm about to cough. I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
That's okay. He does come over the
Yeah.
big brother of the little kid. I
Mm-hmm.
remember the little kid's name because his name is Leon, and I was like, that's cool. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but
Blonde
I
Leon.
literally don't remember what the big brother's name is. But he goes in and he picks her up and takes her over and rescues her.
Yeah,
Um,
and he also like sabotaged the Star Destroyer, so it's like exploding
yes,
as they're leaving.
yes, and he takes her, and it's like, yippee!
Yeah,
Our
the
people are
episode.
still messed up though.
Yeah, the episode does end there, but hey, that's one less Star Destroyer to be after them. You know,
Yes.
F got some emotional resolution because you see, even in the first short, she's like very haunted by or what she believed to be her master's death.
Mm-hmm.
And so like she got a little bit of resolution there to like confront that, but to also like strengthen her resolve because she was like in a really doubtful place in the first volume, and she ends up like in order to save the people of the village, like really comes into her own and like removes her Padawan braid and like claims herself as a Jedi, and that was tested here in this short with like a very clear temptation to the dark side, which all Jedi must face, and she, rejects that as she's like coming into her, and I just want to see more F forever. I I love her so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the episode ends with her still limbless, but that the one lady on the ship, on the
Trina?
refugee ship, was like a prosthetic maker.
Yes.
So she'll
She
be
was
fine.
fine. Yeah,
She'll be
yeah.
fine.
Then we have episode 7, The Smuggler. This was done by Studio Trigger. They did Kill a Kill. I never watched that, but I know it's very popular. Little Witch Academia, I did watch. And they also did Delicious in Dungeon. Yippee! So that was really cool. I love Delicious in Dungeon. It's my favorite thing ever. Yeah, I like this one a lot. It was so cute. I thought it was funny though, because the prince his hair. I don't know if you played Dragon Quest or he's also in Smash Bros. Um, I don't know his name, but he's from Dragon Quest. I I think he's in Smash Bros. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. But his hair just reminded me of his, and I thought he looked like him a lot. I don't know. That's why I put that there. Another thing that I was like, Axel will get this. And then the girl reminded me of this other character from Castlevania, the Castlevania anime. I think her name is Sypha. Um, just like she has the same attitude, and I was like, oh, they both have short hair, haha, and the same attitude. Short hair girls with the same attitude. Um, so I don't know. I thought it was cute. But yeah, she needs money to fix or unlock her ship. Um, and this creepy lady comes over and is like, I heard you need help. I can help you with that. You just need to transport 2 people past the Empire. And then they talk about how, like, the Empire captured and like killed the king, queen, and like, well, like the prince, kind of, for thinking that they were rebels. So like all of them are in hiding. The prince, at least we know, especially, is in hiding. So that, and then the like lady, I forget her name. Um, she is like, I guess a protector, like a servant kind of person to the butler, protector.
Yeah,
She was
like a
creepy, but
guardian.
then she was super super cool. um I thought it was really cool. She is just like, she's very composed and very like, okay, let's go. Let's not waste time, and like, I like her. Um but then the prince like reveals himself because he doesn't want to lie to his people. He's very honorable, but also like, damn kid, we gotta go. Um and she's like driving the speeders around, and she's super like good at just like running away, and she like goes over a cliff and stuff. Super cool. She's cool. She's the best smuggler.
I love Cheetah. She is the cutest, and I want to wear her clothes and have her hair.
Yes.
But
then,
yeah, I really like this one too. This one's, oh, sorry.
No, go for it.
Oh, this thing, I like this one too. I think it's like in the same vein, kind of thematically, of the bounty hunters, which we talked about last week. Where it's, this one is, you know, I mean, it's just like the core theme of most of Star Wars, right? Which is like stepping up to do the right thing, even when it's hard, even when it's scary. You know, rising up against the Empire, and you know, inspiring people, and the importance of that hope. I just love it. I love Cheetah. She's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I liked the, like, when we realized that the lady is a Jedi, or an ex Jedi, that went into hiding, and the king and queen, like, you know, hid her secret. And she has, like, I guess she lost an arm. And so now she hides that, like, lightsaber in the arm. That was super cool. That was so sick.
Yeah, she just like opens up her literal arm and pulls a lightsaber.
Terrifying, but super cute.
It was awesome.
Super cool.
I
Yeah, and then they go and they escape. But then like they're on Yavin, and I was like, oh, that's super cool. Yeah. And then he's like, the prince is like gonna ask her to help, and for some reason he's on his knees, and I was like, yeah, damn, all right.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Slow down.
I was like, whoa, okay. And then he's like, can you please like be the smuggler for us? So she ends up doing more smuggler stuff, like, to, I'm guessing, to smuggle more people from there to Yavin, or probably just anywhere, but
well, smuggling more people, and you know,
yes,
recruiting people, and then also, like, you know, it's probably doing some like weapons smuggling and stuff too for the rebellion.
Just overall smuggler.
Get Cheetah in Andor.
Yeah. So yeah, I really liked it. It's very cute. Very good episode.
Yes, I love this one, and I'm obsessed with her and her outfit.
She's also voiced by the girl that does Enid.
Yeah, Emma
in-
Myers.
Yeah,
She's Enid in Wednesday, and she is in the Minecraft movie.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Or sorry. A Minecraft movie.
Oh, whoa. A Minecraft movie.
That's the name of it.
Yeah, now we have episode 8, The Bird of Paradise. This was done by Polygon Pictures. They did Ghost in the Shell. They're different people that did Ghost in the Shell. They did Star Wars Clone Wars from 2011 to 2013. They did Tron Uprising. Star Wars Resistance they did from 2018 to 2020. They did one episode in Love, Death, and Robots that called The Very Pulse of the Machine. They also did Metroid, Other M. It's just like some video games that they worked on, Metroid, Pokemon games. Yeah, they did a lot. They've done quite a bit. But I loved this one so much, mostly because I just finished playing and beating Silent Hill F 5 times. It was mostly because I was trying to get a bunch of different endings, because every Silent freaking Hill does that. But it was just like so cool. So basically, she's with her master and they're fighting this Sith, and she gets too impulsive, and she's like using too much emotion. She's not listening to her master, and she gets her eyes sliced. And she falls
Kanan
down.
4.
Yes, she widows Kanan. She falls down and she gets lost, and she can't find her master. She can't really see. She's scared. I would be terrified too. And then she's kind of walking into the forest, like doing her own, like she's like battling within herself of like her emotions and different things that she wants, like her selfishness and her fears, quite literally to the point where she ends up fighting herself. Like probably all in her head, but like she, like in the show or in the episode, it shows like a dark side version of her that wants to do things for herself and wants to protect herself from death because she's terrified of death and things like that. So she's battling herself, and she's trying to remember her master's teachings and calming herself and becoming one with herself. Because a lot of, I mean, you probably know better than I do, but like from what I know, like a lot of Jedi, they try to completely shut themselves out from their dark side, and just like the fears that they have, because they're not allowed to have fears, they're not allowed to show emotion, things like that. But she like accepts it, and obviously she doesn't let it take over her. She just acknowledges it and, like I said, accepts it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the thing is like you're right that a lot of Jedi do that, but I don't think it's not like because Jedi, like when you listen to like Yoda or even like Windu and stuff talk about it, it's not like you're not allowed to have these feelings. Like Yoda is the one who's always like, the Jedi will face this constantly. It's part of being a Jedi. And so it's like there are Jedi who try to shortcut by cutting it out, and it's like the arc of so many Jedi, where it's like they have to learn to embrace it. Like that's what the Jedi would say is like, they always, Jedi masters are always gonna like feel it, let it move through you, but do not let it take over you. And that's what like Yoda would talk about. And that's like her arc is a very Jedi arc, because it's not, no, none of the like good Jedi ever say like, oh, you're not allowed to feel this. It's always like, are you letting it take over you? And that's the thing, is like Jedi are the ones who will say like, your feelings do you credit, but like, embrace like the this idea of like, you can't let it control you. And that's where like a lot of people struggle, is like, how do I, because it's the shortcut to that is like, well, I just won't feel it at all. And that's where like Yoda is always trying to get through to them. It's like, well, that doesn't work. Like you have to feel it to not let it control you. It's when you deny it, it's when it controls you.
Yes.
And so that's why it was such a great visualization of that. I think in the same way of like Yoda's final arc in the Clone Wars in season 6. Like it was very much that.
Yeah.
But with, her being like lost in the woods and alone and stuff. And learning how to accept it but not, embrace
Get
it,
consumed
comfort
by
your
it.
feels. Yeah, and not let it, like, when she first falls, she's very much like, this isn't fair, like, this is, and it's not fair. Like,
Yeah.
someone did do this to her, but it's like, if you just keep saying this isn't fair, I don't want to do this, it's like, well, where did that take you? How does that help? And it was, similar to how Yoda to literally confront his dark side. And, I mean, the Jedi always talk about like, there's no like you face a dark side and then it's done. Like it's a constant. Yoda says it's a constant battle. Like the dark side is not, just like this one guy who's evil. Like the dark side is those temptations, that selfishness. When Lucas talks about it, it's that selfishness that you always have to confront within yourself. This was like a really great visualization. That did remind me a lot of that Yoda arc.
Yeah.
But
I thought
yeah, it was very Jedi way of handling it, where it's like I can't deny it. Like I have to know it's there and handle it. Where that's like in the High Republic, one of my favorite things is one of the characters, Amadeo. He talks to someone. He's trying to like explain his like Jedi beliefs, and they're like, well, that sounds like you're suppressing your feelings. And he's like, but it's not that. Like some people think it's that, but it's not what Jedi do. Like the ideal of a Jedi and what they train us to, or try to train us to do, is to like feel it, let it move through you, and then like set it aside. Like let that feeling happen and understand it, but then you have to either let it go or just not let it take over and like understand it beyond yourself. And sometimes it does involve like in the heat of the moment, it's like I'm really scared, but like I gotta do this, like people are gonna die if I let that take over me, so I'm gonna set it aside and deal with that later. And that's what meditation is. And I really love that, like part of explaining it in the High Republic. It's so good.
Yeah. Are you gonna play Silent Hill F?
Honestly, probably not, but you
Can I
can
spoil it? Okay.
Yeah,
Dad, stop listening. Because I know he's not gonna play this until next year. Okay, so basically, I put a little picture of her. That's when she's in the bunny outfit. It's really cool. It's really funny. It's silly. But okay, so this was so cool because in Silent Hill F, Hinako is this girl. First of all, this is the 1950s, Japan. So she's getting sold off to be married. And she doesn't want that. And like throughout the game, you're in Silent Hill already, so you're like fighting monsters and doing this and that. But there's multiple times where she's actually taking drugs for headaches that are not actually helping her because they're 1950s drugs. Um, and so she keeps creating these two versions of herself where it's one version wants to get married because she's slightly talking to this person, but she also still doesn't know the person, but because she's so craved for love and attention, she is falling in love with him. So she creates two Hinakos. She creates herself that doesn't want to get married and wants to continue living and doing her own thing and um, you know, being a child because she's like 17. And then there's Hinako that wants to get married. So there's throughout the entire game, you're playing as two different Hinakos, but you don't know they're two different Hinakos until you're about to get married. And you like, depending on the ending that you get, you either fight each other and kill each other, or if you get the true ending, she like becomes one with herself. And pretty much the ending of this, where she starts to accept like the Hinako that wants to get married, but like they both decide that they want to continue living, and they admit like they do love this person, but they want to have more time because they feel that they're being rushed. And so she, like, they both come together and they're like, yeah, we'll just be one Hinako and we'll be cool and we'll make our own decisions as we want to, and we won't suppress either Hinako, because one was suppressing the other. And again, in every different ending, it's like one Hinako kills the marriage Hinako and then she runs away, or the evil Hinako, technically evil Hinako, kills good Hinako and she gets married and she gets sacrificed, because it's also like this weird cult that like they get married and then they sacrifice the bride.
Oh,
Yeah, that's why she gets sold. But you know, she wants, and it's also a huge thing where it's like she doesn't want to get married because she realizes, like, she looks at her mother and she looks at her sister, her older sister that gets married, and in the game they all have, like, besides like the mother, they have masks, and um there's this whole ritual where they take and they cut off your face,
oh.
and you become silent and you just have a mask on, and that's only for the women.
So
And
is it a silent? Do they all go to a hill and it's a silent
yes,
hill
and they're all silent, all the women are silent.
on the hill?
Yes, on that
Okay.
hill.
Okay.
But you know, the men, when you look at them, they can take off their mask anytime they want and they can speak, and it's a whole thing. So anyway, I thought it was really cool because, like, even like a regular Silent Hill game, like every Silent Hill game is you just like have to go through and fight your inner demons, or if you did something, like, obviously she didn't really do anything like
Mhm.
kill her wife or anything, but like every like Silent Hill is like you did something and you're in this Silent Hill because you have so much guilt, or because you're trying to accept something, and you're trying to go through, and that's why a lot of monsters are different. Every monster is different in Silent Hill. Like, everyone kept saying like, oh, Pyramid Head's in like Silent Hill 3. No, he's not in Silent Hill 3 because he's in Silent Hill 2, because that's the like whole thing with James and blah blah blah. So anyway, it's really really cool, and I was like, oh my god, it's like so Silent Hilly, but also when you were talking about Jedi like trials, I was like, it's also very Jedi Trials. Why is Jedi Trials just Silent Hill? Um so yeah, it was really good. If you do want to ever play a Silent Hill game, there's Silent Hill short message on. Oh, you don't have PlayStation. I think I might
Mhm.
be on Xbox and it's free. It is very short, but it's really really good. Um, it's not too scary. But yeah, that's why I really really liked um this episode, and it was also just so gorgeous. And I love birds of paradise. They're not my favorite flower, but they are like really really cool. So like just the design of like her like kind of like hat, like headband thing, and like her earrings and her hair, just super super cool. Yeah, that's my spiel. Dad, you can start listening to this now.
um, cool. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know anything about Silent Hill, but yeah, I mean, definitely, and it was really cool. I love the animation, the designs. Like I said, it was in the best way, giving like a video game cutscene. Like I almost like could imagine you
Yeah.
playing through this episode as a game, which I don't feel like I say often about movies and shows because it's such different mediums.
Yeah.
But like this really worked. I like the breaking it up by days and like the
Mhm.
little fortune cookies for each episode, like in the episode.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, it was really it was a very much like uh almost like classic Jedi story, right? Of confronting your feelings and learning what it means to live in balance with yourself, but like done in a unique way.
Yes.
That I in just very visually interesting way that I liked a lot.
Yeah. Are you
Also, I
ready
liked
for?
her
Oh,
costume. She was very very slay.
yes, it's very very cool.
Yes, I
Um.
love like I understand like especially in animation when it's like you have all the like background Jedi in the same clothes and like only so not everyone gets to have like a unique costume. So I do love how like both her and her master are like pretty like their own like style
Mhm.
to them. Like it's still like the traditional cultural Jedi robe. Like those elements are still there, like of their culture, but it's also their own personality shining through, which I really enjoyed. It reminds me of like how like Shakti kind of has that, where it's like traditional Jedi robes, but with her own flair.
Yeah. It's super cool.
Yeah.
Are you ready for episode 9? Black?
Yes, this is what I talked about it last week, but I feel like Black is the. I mean, all of these are beautifully animated, taking full advantage of animation as a medium. And like, I don't know if there's like, I don't think any of these shorts would like hit the same in live action, like because of what they do visually. Black specifically was the one I was watching it, and I was like, oh, you could not do this in live action. Like it just simply, it would not work.
Yeah,
it just would not work.
It's also just really silly because this was made by David Production. That did the actual animation, like each episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. So this is, this is a lot, which like is funny because like David Production and just like JoJo, they're also so random and also so like out of this world. Like, how did you do that? How did you think of that? Like, even though it is a silly JoJo movie or show, and you're like, oh, this is dumb because they explain every single thing, but like they have a pinpoint explanation for every single thing that they make and that every episode goes into. So it's very interesting to see all these like every single scene possible with this. It was insane, and it was giving a lot of like Evangelion of like when Shinji's just like losing it. But it was so creepy, and like the style was so cool, and I don't know, it was just so great. I couldn't blink when I was watching it. I was
No.
like, I'm gonna miss something if I
Literally. Yeah, it was like there wasn't really any. I don't think there was any dialogue
No.
in this. Like it was just like this like really good jazz music,
Mhm.
and then just like really disturbing stuff going on. And it was like, yeah, it was my understanding of it was that it was like a stormtrooper who was about to die on the Death Star.
Yeah, the
maybe?
description,
Death
I
Star
put it
2?
down. It was like a psychedelic battle between past and present, light and dark, and life and death plays out in the haunted psyche of an Imperial trooper who is on the cusp of defeat.
Yeah. And so the read I got was like this was maybe a trooper on like the Death Star 2 who was like realizing it was about to blow, and this kind of like internal battle and this like guilt and the trauma of war and kind of just taking it through. And it was like this it was like gorgeous and creepy animation.
Yeah.
And I like this motif of like eyes and like being watched and like this battle within yourself. It's also missing an arm.
Yeah, he was also like morphing into a monster, like both of them.
Yeah.
But then there was like this weird scene of just like silence, and he's laying down, and there's a woman, and then it's like quiet, and it's really cool, and then it like immediately jumps back to like all the chaos.
Right. And yeah, I don't know how much I'm saying. It was just so cool. Such a great visualization of like these really intense, almost unimaginable like feelings and this fear put together, and and just like you're doing all this and then also like taking us through this iconography of the original trilogy, right? And this very like to us now, especially people who are like really big into like Star Wars community, like this very normal like, oh, AT-ATs, oh, stormtroopers, oh, like all this like stuff that's like, yeah, that's Star Wars, that's like whatever, we've had that for almost 50 years. But like with this lightweight jazz music over, but then also this like really twisted air about everything. And I think honestly the closest thing I can liken it to is in Andor season 1 when a TIE fighter flies over them on Aldhani, right?
Mhm.
And we're so used to TIE fighters from the rest of Star Wars. It's like, oh yeah, there's a TIE fighter flying around. They're almost like, oh, it's a TIE fighter. Like you can blow up like 4 of those, like easy.
Yeah.
But then when you put it in this different context in Andor, it's like terrifying. And that was kind of what this was doing, where it's like, oh yeah, like speeder on Endor, but scary now, and like this vehicle
like,
of guilt and destruction and trauma.
Mm-hmm. It's also just like scary to be a soldier.
Mm-hmm.
A soldier of like of both sides, obviously, but also of a side that doesn't care about you. That
Yeah.
like you know that you're alone, and that if you die, like that's it. Nothing happens. Even if you get hurt, you're just gone. It doesn't matter. No one helps you. Like this dude is missing a whole arm, and he's still
Yeah.
fighting.
Yeah. And it reminded me of, like, I've been reading, it's fresh in my mind because I'm in the middle of reading The Last Order, which is the Finn and Janna book, and it's so good. And it's, it's a lot of it is them during their time in the First Order, and like obviously before they leave, so there's still like that amount of like loyalty to it and then indoctrination there, but also the like seeing their impact on the people outside of the First Order, like on the people around them. And then also reminded me of a little bit in a weird way of some of the comic storylines, specifically Valance and his story, where he feels like a guilt leaving his family behind for the Empire, then later as a bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I've also this is just like everything I've been watching and reading recently, but I'm projecting it onto this piece of art.
Yeah.
But I've been watching Yellow Jackets for the first time. Please, no one spoil it for me. But I've been watching Yellow Jackets, and so I watched an episode. It was last night. It was after I watched this short. But if you I don't know how much you know about Yellow Jackets.
Nothing.
Okay, so Yellow Jackets is such a good show. It's on Paramount Plus. It's basically Yellow Jackets is a soccer team of high school soccer team. These teenage girls, they're flying to like a soccer competition they get into. Their plane crashes and they're stuck in the woods. There's some like supernatural stuff happening. They're barely surviving. Like it's really traumatic and dangerous and violent. They're stuck in the woods during this. There's also like a plot line for later when some of them are adults. But like for my purposes, plane crash, barely surviving, everyone's sick and hurt and turning on each other and this whole thing. And so the episode I watched last night had their coach who survives the crash, their coach, and he's kind of like ruminating on his life before the crash, and it's like kind of revealing like he almost didn't want to even get on the plane. Like he had a partner, and his partner was like, they're talking about stuff, and the partner's like, look, like you're taking too much time with this. Like I need you to make a commitment to me. And he decides, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go on the soccer competition. And so like he chooses that, and then he's ruminating on that and like that guilt and like why did I make this choice, like all this stuff. And that was like giving me this kind of similar vibe, especially that part with like the woman is like this trooper and he's like, why did I make this choice to like join the military, basically.
Yeah. Yellow Jackets.
It's a great show. You should watch it if you have a strong stomach.
Oh, I mean,
hey, they do. I will say, they do some cooking in Yellow Jackets. They do some cooking. So there you go.
Is it good cooking?
Well,
Alright.
well, they're trying to survive.
You know, I could say the same for Delicious in Dungeon.
Yeah.
There is one episode where something happens. You should watch Delicious in Dungeon.
I definitely should. I will. I got sucked into Yellow Jackets. I have to finish Yellow Jackets before I turn on anything else.
Fair enough.
So good. I've been like texting my one friend who's really in Yellow Jackets. I've been like texting her my live reactions, and she is very amused by my distress.
Nice.
And what's happening.
Yeah. Well, that was David production. Thank you, Jojo. For for whatever the hell this is.
It's so
it was
good.
really good. It was really good. It was great. But oh my god.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, and I'm really glad like that Visions. I said this last week. I'm really glad Visions exists. Like it's so cool that we just have this series where we just let these artists play in the world of Star Wars with really like it seems like no limits and just doing what they want and expressing themselves through this like really familiar world, this really iconic I was gonna say iconic iconography, which is very redundant, but like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And getting to like use that IP to like do whatever they want and tell these stories. I think it's awesome. I think it's so cool. And I'm just really glad that Lucasfilm is investing in this. And I hope they continue to. Because it is amazing. I think it's a big hit. Like I know a lot of people. I know some people who aren't even that into Star Wars, but they like anime and they like animation.
Yeah.
And
I had a coworker text me like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, you want to play Fortnite?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm watching Visions." I was like, "You know what? Yes, yeah,
Fair.
you're right. Go for it."
Yeah.
And he doesn't talk about Star Wars or anything. It's just because it's like an animation thing and their favorite, studios are working on it. They're gonna watch it. So
Yeah.
I hope it continues that way. But I also hope for like season 2 where it's like all of them, all different ones.
I would love them to continue to invest in the anime side of it. I think that's super popular with people who are in anime, especially. And then also just like for these other like a lot of the animation studios from Volume 2 were very small ones. Granted, I'm not super plugged into the studio side of animation, but like especially internationally, but like ones I'd never heard of any of their work, and getting to like give them such a huge spotlight through like one of the biggest franchises in the world on Disney Plus. It's just amazing, and I hope they just keep doing it forever. And because it's we get to give these animation studios spotlight. I know I've like liked Vision shorts and then gone through and looked at these studios and like, what else have they worked on? I really like their animation. I want to watch more of it. I'm sure other people have done the same. And then vice versa, like people who are really into anime bring them into Star Wars and maybe piques their interest in some Star Wars stories. Especially I know they've done a lot of manga, like adaptations of novels as well. That does the same thing. Or and it's just like such a lovely collaboration. It's so expressive. Such a real appreciation for art and animation as a medium. And I just hope they do Visions forever, both anime style and just foreign and international animation studios.
Yeah, me too. I like it. I like it.
Especially because like
I want more.
Because a lot of like it seems that Lucasfilm has kind of decided to lean into the Clone Wars Bad Batch animation style as like their house style. They're using it for the mall show as well. And I love that style. It's really cool. They can do a lot with it. But it is also fun to like get different art styles brought into Star Wars again through animation. And if they're not going to do, besides the Ninth Jedi, if they're not going to do their long form like canon show in a new art style like Rebels or like Resistance, I would love to still have Visions where we can just do all these like crazy visuals that we're not going to see normally in canon Star Wars.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yippee.
So that was our part 2 of our Visions podcast. Thank you everyone so much for listening. If you haven't watched Visions, hopefully we got you to watch it. It's really, really good. I think there's something for everybody within Visions. And I feel like I say that about a lot of Star Wars, but I feel like I truly, truly mean it for Visions.
Star Wars is so ginormous, but also Visions itself, there's so many wide range of different stories.
Yeah,
there,
like within this one project, you can find like multiple animation styles, multiple like genres, tones, like within this one project. And I think everyone should watch it. It's so good, especially if you're an animation fan, and especially if you're an anime fan. So please watch Visions.
Yes.
But thank you so much for listening and spending some time with us to chat Star Wars. Make sure you check out StarWarsGeekGirl.com for all of your latest Star Wars Geek Girl needs, as well as ZenealNation.com. because Neil Nation is forever. We're on Instagram and Blue Sky at SW Geek Girl, and our Facebook page is Star Wars Geek Girl. If you want to find me, I'm either Spectre_5 on Instagram and TikTok, or at Azoika on Twitter and Blue Sky.
Yeah. You got the Rogue Rebels. If you want to watch my dad as a Jedi teaching little kids, there's a Lightsaber Academy on Star Wars Kids YouTube. We also have the roguerebels.com. Instagram and TikTok is at the Rogue Rebels. Twitch is at Rogue Rebels. You can listen to the podcast wherever you're listening to Star Wars Geek Girl. Facebook page is the Rogue Rebels, and Blue Sky is at Rogue Rebels Fam. Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. I was Zoe.
I was Lizzy.
May the Force be with you, and goodbye.
Goodbye.